This is Base44, the Vibecode app that has been sweeping the world. Wix recently purchased this for $80 million because of how effective it is. It can build you an app like a team of coders. So I've got this pre-written in, create a guide that lists local farmers markets, their hours, and the vendors present. And I'm going to hit build, and it's going to be like a team of coders making me this app that finds you farmers markets. Okay, so this is my 7th time this week making an entire app with Base44, and I know that historically this is going to take about 4 to 6 minutes for the preliminary rough draft, wireframing it, coming up with a brand, explaining to me how it works, and compiling the files that I then can go publish. So this is crazy. You can see here on the left that it's showing you exactly what it's doing, what it intends to do. It's going to make the key features to browse local farmers markets, to view detailed vendor information, to filter the markets. Then for the design approach, it's going to do a organic, kind of crunchy farm aesthetic. I'm just learning all this right now, by the way. It's coming up with this in real time on the spot. The app structure is going to be market and vendor entities to store the information, a landing page with search filters, and reusable components for market cards and vendor listings. And I will pause it here. It will be done in about 3 minutes. Okay, it has completed my farmers market locator app. And already it looks very plain, but it does indeed look like it could be some sort of food vendor app. You have to forgive me because I'm still learning Base44. I don't know if this is giving me examples of that there's 8 local vendors and 5. I live in South Florida, and that sounds, oh, it's showing me here. So let's see if these are real or if it's just giving me sort of examples. It looks like these are just examples, but it will show me in the back end how I can encode the functionality for this to actually work. So if we poke around, we'll hit Browse Markets, Riverside Community Market. You can see if I come up here, I can hit App Overview. And then it's telling me that there's some access rules missing and that those need to be set. I can go to Domains. So I could make it farmersmarketlocator.com, and then I can connect that domain name. There is a security audit that you can do, and I can set different permissions for that. I won't do it in this video, but I can scan for, oh, what the heck, let's quickly do it. Scan for a security check. I can add AI agents to the app. I can view the logs for it, the user logs. This is where you can connect any APIs. I don't know who for a farmer's market it would be, but we could add those. That's something that I could go. By the way, it's like if you don't know how to use Base44, go use another AI to help you use Base44. Open up Gemini and say, what do I do? And actually, this is an LLM too. So you can come down here and say, what kind of APIs should I add? I think it will give me an answer for this. I'm not positive. And yes, it did that. So it's recommending, I should have thought of this because my apple picking website that I actually own does indeed use Google Map API to show where all the orchards are located. So I should have thought of that. But that's the big one is map APIs, real-time weather forecast, maybe show you if the market is going to be raining that day, recipe suggestions, and so forth. You can also ask it to change the logo to make it different. So this is the current logo, and it is about to change that. Okay, it changed the logo to a shopping basket, and it told me its logic why it did that. It said, I updated it to a shopping basket for a fresh look. I like that. And then, of course, you don't need to rely on Base44 for the branding or for anything. Anything you want to do, you can go manually put in. let's go see what happens when we hit publish. So it takes me through that this would be the first version publicly of the app. So it would be a live version. And it suggests to me an available domain name. I have no idea why the domain name is so ridiculous. I guess because they want it to be a subdomain of Base44. That's kind of their growth hack. People aren't going to always be doing domain names for wireframing apps in Base44, so it helps market Base44 to just give you a subdomain. But you could put whatever one you want, as I said earlier. You can make it private, so you could say, oh, my app is in stealth, even though it's just Base44. You need to remember, now that this exists, everybody is going to be doing this. The market is going to get flooded with apps. But at the same time, you also need to consider that ideas are a dime a dozen and execution is everything. So the people that are actually going to take, like I read a man said that it took him about 3 hours of work to put a fully developed Base44 app online that he made money with, and it was profitable. And that's impressive. So we've only been working for 6 minutes here, so we shouldn't really be complaining that that we're not rich yet with this. Let's take a look at some of the back end. We click on this here. So it looks like there's different files like the vendor entities. And this is the part that I'm still learning a little bit. I won't learn it on camera, but it's showing that I can see every single file, like the pages. The pages are broken down into markets, market detail. And this is it, guys. This is the actual code. So before, I would have either had to been going through Wix or WordPress templates or hiring a developer. Now this essentially is my developer. And I know enough about coding to know that this all looks reasonably on the level. Like there's an opacity CSS. Let's see this JavaScript layout. This is just so cool how quickly it did this. This was hours and hours of coding. So back to the preview. This was the desktop preview. Let's see what it looked like on mobile. That is really cool. And then it's got this little sustainable logo and everything. So it's giving you the dates. But what I need to learn is how do I make it actually find the local markets? So it didn't quite understand what I was asking, but it still made a really good point, which is that the app should have a find near me feature. So if you live in Beverly Hills, you enter 90210 and then it will find, Erawan Market or whatever it's called and all that stuff around you. If you live up in Boston, you enter in 02118 and it will show you the farmers table and so forth in South Boston, whatever. And what I'm trying to figure out is how to get that all coded into the app. It says, I've integrated a location finding feature into your app so you can now discover. I guess that all happens. Oh, here it is here. Find near me. And I don't know if this is actually live. Location access denied. Please enable it in your browser. So this might happen when you hit publish. Publish your app. That's my guess, is that will all happen if I hit publish the app. So let's just go ahead and do that. Good news and bad news. The good news is I think that all I had to do was go enable permission for location in my browser. The bad news is I've run out of credits for today. We live in the credit economy for these freaking AI apps, and I hate that. I will invest thousands of dollars into the first AI app, whatever, vibe coding tool that does an ad-supported plan where you don't have to purchase credits, because I can't stand when your amount of creativity and work gets artificially limited like that. It drives me nuts. But what do you think of this? What kind of apps should I build with it? Put it in the comments.